I hope you're not one of those people who are wandering all over the internet trying to figure out how they can earn alternative income. If you're here for the first time, this is exactly what we talk about. I started off in property not so long ago, and I was trying to figure out how best I can have alternative income. Until around about 10 years ago, I figured it out and I started teaching other people how to do the same. And on a Saturday like this one, we get to sit down and we look at a particular opportunity and we look at how best we can extract the best value out of that property, and we can look into it to see, is there any alternative income that can come out of it? The real problem that we have, you and me, is that our mindset is not set up for alternative income. Well, my good friends, having said that, some of us, we may be asking ourselves, so TJ, where can you get these alternative income? Is it for the rich and famous? Is it for all of those people that are in Johannesburg? Or is it the special people? Well, today, my good friends, I want to bring you a challenge. And that challenge is that, is there anything that can come out of a colored neighborhood? And can there be an income, alternative income, that from a colored neighborhood, people, we can make it? If we are meeting for the first time, my name is TJ, your host, and I'm a former banker and founder here at the TJ Tribe. And I do business with a focus in student accommodation, flips, which is buy and sell, and coaching, with the hope that all of us, as young, upcoming modern parents, we can be able to have passive income from real estate. Welcome to the channel. Well, I started thinking about this, and why you might be asking yourselves this question, and you might be saying, today, why are we talking about race? And I just want to say that as I have stayed in South Africa, in different parts of the country, and doing businesses in different towns and so on, I realized that for some races, when someone speaks, we just assume, oh, they've got money. Oh, they are trustworthy. Oh, no, those ones are. Oh, no, those are. And then I said to myself, what about colored people? Is there anything that we can speak about colored people? And I started searching and searching and searching. And actually, my good friends, I've got few good mates and relatives that are also in the colored space. And they've done amazing things. And today, I want us to speak about someone else who's colored, who's coming from Cape Town, who has done amazingly well. But I'm going to walk through with you on how he's done that. When I started asking myself this question about, is there anything that can come out of the colored townships, I looked at some other people that have started making it today. I look at my wife. Yes, I look at my wife and I'm like, my wife, she's made it. Hey, she got married to me, right? But besides that, when I found my wife, she was already making her own buck. And besides doing that, she was on the track of doing her own stuff and doing her own business. So, yeah, there's point number one. There's someone that we know, that me and you know, and we can relate to. So this thing, it's not just about the wealthy. It's not about those that are connected. Hey, my wife is example number one, isn't it? Right. So that's case number one. Case number two is that in Johannesburg, there is a colored township that is called Eldos. And I want to speak of a guy that I've seen on social media. I don't know him personally. I think his name is Sheldon. He's got a barber shop. He's sprout up with a barber shop. And this brand is now, I think, in multiple countries. I stand corrected. It might be in Lesotho. Botswana, I stand corrected, but I know for a fact Lesotho and South Africa because I saw that post. I follow Sheldon. Actually, I follow people that are doing amazing things. So when I was doing this research, I looked at colored people that I know in the vicinity. I'm like, Eldos, hey, there's somebody who's doing amazing stuff. Could they be doing real estate? Well, if you want a barbershop, where's the barbershop sitting? Under a tree? No, it's in a real estate. There you go. If I look into the world-class rugby team that we have, how many colored people do you see there? TJ, is today's video about colored people? No. I am just trying to say to you guys, success, it's not about anything else other than the mindset. So we might be segregated. We might have been segregated, but we are different. We can do things differently these days. We can start to think differently, implement differently, and together we can do it. And I am going to be, the person that I'm going to be speaking about today is a fellow colored oak. So here we go. And of late, at an international level, right? What the heck? Yeah, at an international, you already know who I'm talking about, isn't it? So in the comments, let me know, what the heck, who is that? So you already know that. Hey, we had the former Minister of Finance at one point. You remember him? I think he's retired now. Yeah, he was, is he married to Maria, or they're still partners? I don't know. But here, there's someone who's colored who defies the order at that particular time, and he's made it. So surely we can also be made. We can also make it. We can surely be able to make it. You see the English there. The airtime was running out. Recent times we have seen our own local minister in the sports, another colored guy. There are so many colored people out there that I can touch on, but obviously I am not going to touch on everybody. We do have our own that we want to talk to you about. And my good friends, I want to say to you that sometimes fate can connect you in very odd places. I speak about all of these people, and some of you are like, TJ, you know, they had connections, they had this. So let's speak about someone else of our age group. And this guy here, we're going to call him Nate. So it was in the year 2021. I didn't meet Nate. And what basically happened was that Nate had bought a house in the same area where I was running my first, I want to call it my first student accommodation. And at that house, it was literally two houses that were next to each other. And we were running student accommodation there. And he, Nate, stayed across the road. And as you know it, my good friends, when you've got Wi-Fi, good Wi-Fi, it goes over the street. So for a long time, he would see my student house as the Wi-Fi, because the company my student house was, you know the company, The company my student house was managing the property for us. At that property, my good friends, he waited, this guy called Nate. He waited to see who's the big guy. And my good friends at the time, my good partner, friend Rita, she was there. And as she was coming out, Nate says, hey, what do you guys do? And obviously at the time, Rita engaged with Nate and they started exchanging notes. A couple of months later, we then realized that actually Nate had bought a house, and within this particular house, it was earmarked for a 40-unit building. I think those are 40 units. I stand corrected. Let's call it 40 anyway. And within that, he was now trying to figure out on how he can do this. So with seeing what he liked, the business concept of running students accommodation across the road, he was like, how best can I also do this? But it was not the first time he was exposed to this. I want to bring in Nate's mother. Nate's mother raised him in a colored township, or in a colored township that is called Bella. And within Bella, this is where he grew up. This is where Nate grew up. He is from Bella, right? I got family in Bella. Here, I didn't meet him there. We didn't know each other. And there we are in the streets of the suburbs of Cape Town. Our paths are about to connect. So my partner, or should I say my business friend Rita, says to him, I don't teach this thing. Reach out to TJ. He'll be able to teach you. Now, Nate, at the time, like I mentioned, his mother had already started doing student accommodation. So some of you might not know where Bella is. Bella is a colored township in Western Cape, particularly in Cape Town. And back in the days, a lot of people, they actually got, or should I say, they were segregated because of our history in South Africa. A lot of colored peoples were segregated into staying in Bela during the apartheid. You know, so in the suburbs, it was the white people, and in an area like Bela, it was more of the colored population. So a lot of people, they got their houses not with buying, but there was a program for the Bela social housing. And we know that this used to happen in many of our townships where the government subsidizes houses, and then they give you a property, and you might pay it over a long time, small amount via the city, the local municipality. And basically, my good friends, this is how he got, or should I say his mother got to have this property. Now, I want to fast forward to 2021 now. She got the house and she saw the opportunity, a lot of students coming in. And within this house of hers, Bela, this is what we call an empty nest. You know what's an empty nest, ne? When you're a parent, but all of your kids now have left, she started now doing student accommodation. But this is a hobby, kind of like she's trying to keep herself busy. And you know how it is, Auntie Susan. We're just going to call his mom Auntie Susan. I don't know what's her name. And she's trying to keep herself busy, you know. Color girl gotta do it, right? And she has a multiple number of students that are coming in, and her son is left for the suburbs, and now he's working. So now coming back to Nate. So my good friend Rita, she then says to me, connect with this person. So I connect with him in 2021, and I introduce him to what I'm going to introduce you today. I said, brother, we've got a coaching program which is called Thrive. And my good friends, Thrive is basically works like this. We've got it available for anybody who's willing to learn and be guided along this. So the program Thrive, what it is, it's a 1-year program where you join me with other like-minded students of mine, and we journey the journey of unlocking, or should I say creating a business that can be able to give you alternative income. Within this program, you get to attend group coachings, you get to attend one-on-one coaching, but over and above that, we've got master classes, 3 of them throughout the whole year, and you also get resources on a monthly basis. And these resources are there to educate you. This guy that I'm talking about called Nate, he said, TJ, where do I sign up? I said, brother, this is where you sign up. I sent him a link, and exactly the same link that you'll be able to see in the description here. And basically all it says is the website www.tauraijack.com/coaching program. And he jumped onto it and he paid. And since then, up until now, he's been paying for the Thrive program and getting the guidance from me. But what has he learned? What we are all about here, my good friends, it's not about what you are learning, but it's about what you are building. He has built a business, and within this business, my good friends, I'm going to show you exactly how he has done it. Our journey started back then, and up until now, he has been going on and on, building his business. And for some of you, you have jumped onto this link and you have seen, oh, you are paying 5 grand every month. Yes. Yo, that's a lot of money. 5,000 paying every month. No. It's not 5,000 you're paying every month. It is 5,000 that you're investing in your future every month, getting the right guidance whilst you are building your business. And if we want to look at this guy in terms of what is it that he has now built, I can go onto a couple of things in terms of how his journey has been. There is no journey, my good friends, without any challenges. I just want to speak about maybe round about 4 challenges that I have seen where Nate struggled with. And I think a lot of us, we could be sitting in that space. The first challenge that I observed Nate doing is that he had rose up the ladder very quickly. I could see that he's passionate about his job in the IT space. And the first challenge that I observed was that he was time constrained. So he had no time at all. A busy parent, but actually at the time he didn't have any kids. He had just been married and he had no time. So he needed to learn exactly what he needed to learn for him to build his business. So time was his challenge. I remember when I used for the company Barclays and staying here in South Africa, but looking after all the other African markets. And I would spend around about 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks of the month, I needed to be in Ghana. And I had started off my business here in South Africa. So time, it's something that I didn't have. I was in a foreign country and I wanted to build a country. I wanted to build a business area. So time was an issue. Time zones was an issue as well. But the second thing that I want to reinforce, which I also saw that was a challenge to him, was the idea of knowledge. He had gone to school, gotten his degree. He had started now in the workplace, very good at IT, rising up the ladder, doing amazing things. But he didn't have the knowledge of real estate. He didn't have the knowledge of growing a business. He didn't have the knowledge of how best can he make what he has into a thriving business that can be able to give him alternative income. He started looking. I was not his first coach. I was not his first teacher. I was not his first mentor. I was not his first guide to guide him on to the path of greatness. He spoke to me one day. He says, TJ, you know what? I've had many coaches, but you just break it down, brother, the way I understand and I can bank it. And the same way can be done for you. And all you need to do is to reach out on the link below and bingo, we can get you started. Knowledge and guidance, it's available. It's available. All you need to do is to start. That's all. But I'm going to go in to speak about his next challenge. His next challenge came in, I think maybe about 12 months or a year and a half after we started working together. Bingo, he impregnated his wife. Some of you are like, oh, TJ. Yes, he is married. If you are married, you got the license to do it. And the results of doing it is pregnancy, right? So yes, high five. We should be congratulating him to say, yay. So his wife got pregnant. And, or should I say, these days they say we are pregnant. You know, the guy also say I'm pregnant. So yeah, so his wife got pregnant and they were now expecting a baby. With the expectation of a baby became challenges of the normal things that go on as the first pregnancy. Remember, he's got constraints of time. That then brought in new dynamics to his relationships. But don't worry, my good friends. Yours truly, TJ, was navigating the terrain of all of these things together as I was helping him how to work on this path. The path of being a parent. Well, the part of being a new parent was to running a business, because this brings in new challenges than what we already know. So a lot of people out there, I have seen, we go and search for programs how to become millionaires, how to become wealthier. But we also forget that there is me to look after here at the TJ Tribe. Our coaching programs are dedicated to build a strong individual with strong relationships around them, husband and wife, the kids, next layer, the business, and the community at large. So we don't just teach you do business. No, holistically. How do you become a well-rounded person who can be able to smash it as you go out into the world? Because that's your God-given mandate. And by the way, don't forget, this is the month of March. We are still running our competition. There's a few books on stake to be won, and all you need to do is to type in the comment March and then something else in front of it. And you can say, March, I've learned a lot today, TJ, or you can say March, whatever that you want to say. And within that, we will have a competition in the first, we'll draw the results in the first week of April, and we will then mention, we'll have a special video where we mention the winners. But above that, obviously you need to be here for you to know that you have won. It's the only way we can let you know. And then we'll give you some instructions on what to do so that we can send these books to you. Unfortunately, we can only send these books into South Africa. The cost of just sending across the borders is just so expensive. We sent some books, some material recently to someone who is in Australia, and that cost was just below 2,000 Rand, 1.8 it was. So you can see, you know, it's not really, it is worth it, obviously, but from a winning perspective, if you want something, it becomes very costly for us to send it out to you. So we can only send to South Africa. However, if you are out there and you are looking for these resources, yeah, let us know. We will send us an email, and our email address is hello@thetjtribe.com. You can send us an email to say, hey, I am in Australia, New Zealand, I'm looking for these resources, guys, send it to me. We will send you a separate quotation. So we'll give you the price. We'll almost give the books for you for free, and just you can pay for the courier to wherever you are. Right? The other thing that I want to speak of here is that the other challenge that I saw, he was the first one to make it. Oh, my good friends. You have no idea. So you see, if you're the second, third, fifth person in your family to have made it, you might not relate to it. So I was kind of like the first in my family to make it, so I highly understand it. You know, everybody is looking up to you. All the problems come to you. You know, you have your own problems, but because you have made it, so everybody now thinks that you have made it. So the problem of first to make it, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you are one of those people who are suffering with the idea of, you know, you're the first one to make it. Maybe you're the first one to get married. Maybe you're the first one to become a millionaire. Maybe you're the first one to actually just own a car, you know. Even though we think that a car here is a liability, it's not an asset. But if it's an Uber, it's bringing you money, that's an asset. Yeah. The last one that I want to speak to, which was a problem, is that he didn't have guidance. He had no guidance at all, and he was trying to figure out life by himself. But he identified that he can be better. He did identify that. So he started searching. And when he started searching, he found Retta. Retta referred to me. And he started just consuming some of our stuff like what you do. And he made the decision to be my client. And within that, we have been journeying on. And a whole lot of opportunities started opening up because his mind, his mindset began to work differently because he had a different guide walking with him, showing him the different path, showing him what he assumed was his blind spots, cheering him on, giving him the right knowledge, cheering him on so that he could have the right courage, take the right risk. My good friends, anybody can do this. It's not about where you're coming from. It's not about, you know, I am this. He is coming from Bella. Yes. He is coming from a colored community. TJ, you're hammering on the colored community. Is there something that you want to tell us? I'm just saying where you come from don't matter. I'm just saying your background don't matter. It's about what you can put here, and we can forge ahead, put in the work, and we can deliver. Right? As many of you know already my background. It's no different from coming from the colored neighborhood. It's no different of having money. It's no different of having no resources. But here I am. Everything else you see, I've done. So my good friends, today is the last day of the month of March. And as it is, I'd like to remind you that last month we had someone who had won a book, but unfortunately they didn't claim it. So it is up for grabs. This book here that you're seeing. This is from the previous month. We had 2 of these books and one went out. But this one here hasn't gone out, so it is available. But within this month of March, we also have these books. I don't know how many of these books are available. We will know when we are nominating the winners or shouting out the winners. We will know how many of them are here. But basically, so far, we have 2 books, and all you have to do is comment in the comment section with the word March. You start with the word March and then you write whatever comment that you want to write, and we will already pick you and put you in a basket, and we will send one of these books to you. But before we do that, I just want to show you, my good friends, the first property that Nate got for himself. It was his property that he was staying in, because he figured out, if these guys are making this X amount of money, and I know my mom is making X amount of money, how best can I also make it? So we sat down and we started navigating the terrain, created a company, we created the trust and all the other nice thing for his business succession. And within that, he moved his property into this company. Eventually, all his properties are in a company, and now he manages this company and drives it right. And his first house that he then made available, he was staying in it before, so he decided he's going to buy another house, because remember, his wife is expecting. So he decided he's going to move somewhere else, and this house, his first house, he was going to make it available to us. And my good friends, I worked with him and we turned that property into a 15-bed student. And here is some of the pictures from what that property looks like today. Welcome back. You have seen there what his house now looks like. A student village that he has put up together with 15 students. That's his first property that he owns outside his mother's house. And now I want to speak to you, my good friends. You might be saying to yourselves, TJ, you know, this guy is lucky. But I've given you all of some of his challenges. Background challenges. Right? I've given them. But I do think that everybody has opportunities. Everybody have the opportunities. No, TJ, I don't have opportunities. You do. I also used to think like this, that I don't have opportunities. So there's a road, a particular road in Johannesburg that I used to travel and go past every day. And I would see these houses, and I would say these houses are run down. But it was in the time when I had no coach, no training, and I used to complain and say these houses are run down. The city needs to do something about it. However, after I got trained, after I got a coach, the same properties didn't change. The same road didn't change. My mindset changed. How I view things changed. I started seeing opportunities on each and every house on that street, and it later became a student accommodation road. and I own 2 properties on that road. What changed, my good friends? Just a nudge in the head. Somebody to guide you and see it differently. Anybody, you can come to school. Anybody, right? Now, I want to speak about some of those opportunities. This guy called Nate, he had a good opportunity because he had a good job. Many of us right now, in our 30s or 40s, we have good jobs. We are managers and so on. And this guy here, Nate, actually he's in a very interesting space, in the IT space, where we have all seen how technology has been booming. So the resources or people that understand the IT are in demand. They're in high demand. You know that. And this is the first opportunity that I think he had. And I'll speak to how did he capitalize it a little bit later. The second opportunity that I see here is that he earned a good income. Come with a good job comes with a good income. But more importantly for him, which is a lesson, a humongous lesson for all of us, if I may call it this, because I see these things when I speak to some of you guys, and also when I used to work, I never used to save quite a lot of money. But with Nate, with this good job of his, with a good income, he is to save money. At a point, I think he had about 600,000 to about R1 million in his, just chilling in his bank account. But you could never tell. Very humble guy, right? So good job, good income. Many of us, we spend it all. It's not an opportunity. Save most of it. That's an opportunity. When you have saved for this money, now it can become alternative income. Alternative income 101, the bank interest. Yeah, sometimes we beat on it, and we say it's not good. It is good versus nothing. Right? You hear what I'm saying? Okay. The third opportunity that I saw with Nate is that at the time when I was working at ABSA Africa, he was also working at ABSA, but not in the same department with me. He was in a different division altogether in Cape Town, yes. And having worked or working in the bank, many of you who work in the bank, you'd understand that if you work in a bank, you get benefits. Some of these benefits is that you can buy a house and they will maybe shave off like 1% or 2%, dependent, I think, on the level. Back in the days, actually, they never used to worry about how many bonds you have. But in recent times, especially with the Red Bank that I work for, they would say that you should only have 2 houses, one that you stay in and another one which is like in the coastal side. But I worked with someone that had 20 properties at one point whilst they were working for the bank, and they were all at reduced interest rate. But this guy called Nate, he identified that, so he continued working for the bank, was reaping the benefits of that. If you're buying a property for 3 million and you're shaving off even like 2% of the interest, that's a lot to save. Over a period of a year to 2 years, 5 years, it's a lot of money. Do the numbers, right? So it's an opportunity, and he milked that opportunity for a bit. He did. So well done to Nate. The other thing is that what I saw as an opportunity for him is that, you remember I did say that Nate is married, right? And later on, the wife, she got pregnant, and they now have a baby. I think the baby's about a year to 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, if not 3 actually, yeah. He had an understanding wife. I don't recall at any given time Nate saying to me that, TJ, we are having challenges in terms of deploying the money. My wife is not seeing the future. Like, the wife is understanding, very supportive, and I want to thank her for that. Because I think that today as we are celebrating night and graduating his victory of earning his alternative income. By the way, here at the TJ Tribe, a lot of people, they come through to me and say, TJ, if I sign up for your courses, do I get a certificate? No, you don't. Your certificate is your alternative income. Money in the bank account, that's your certificate. Here, we don't do certificates so that you can hang it on the wall. For what? No, hang money in your bank account, right? Or let your pocket be dripping with money. That's what we want here at the TJ Tribe. We just want you to make money. So, with an amazing partner, and you might be thinking, TJ, this partner, what's the fuss? You will appreciate a good partner as a wife or as a husband if you have ever presented to your partner something and then they have said no, and you have the zeal for it. You know it's going to work and they don't see it. If you've got an understanding partner, oh wow, that's gold. That's like super gold. But also an understanding partner comes from a point where you yourself carries yourself well, engages with your partner very well, and there's no ho-hos in the closet. What you are saying is what you're doing. And you are building this for you and her or him, right? So I am highly appreciative of this understanding wife of Nate. It's a huge opportunity that he can milk for many years, and I'll tell you how she is also now coming to the business a little bit later. The other opportunity that I see here is that Nate has always been eager to learn. Nate is, like I mentioned, I was not his first coach. He told me, says, TJ, you know so-and-so? He was my coach. You know so-and-so? He was my coach. It's like, all right, this guy is eager. He's hungry. He wants to learn, right? I was on a course so from the US, and I'm like, this guy is in my space because I am also doing the same stuff. We're just learning different things. He is taking up on his IT stuff. I am taking up on my business stuff. But together, we are doing amazing things. Eager to learn. Be teachable. Be hungry to learn. I cannot stress that out. On top of that, my good friend, an opportunity that I saw is that Nate has always been willing to go the extra mile. What did I say? Nate has always been willing to go the extra mile. What does that mean, TJ? Please tell me so that I can learn. My good friends, here at the TJ Tribe, we do not believe in doing the standard. We are of the view that we should always be doing a little bit extra. We are of the belief that if you said you are going to do, your performance is going to be doing 5 things, do 6. 5 is for everybody. Do 6. Isn't that overperforming, TJ? It's going the extra mile. Right? My good friends, if ever you are going to give anybody the extra mile value, they will love you for the rest of their lives. Right? They will appreciate you. So in whatever job that you are in today, are you going the extra mile? Here is what I want to say about the job. I know that we spoke about his job earlier on, that he is learning and he's got a great job and so on. And I want to speak to this, speaking to the willingness of going the extra mile. I think a lot of us, we go into these jobs that we have today, and we think that the jobs is great. We are in it for the money. I want to challenge you, if you are here at the tribe and you are dedicated and you're saying to yourself, TJ, I want to earn alternative income. Maybe I'm not just ready now. There's one thing I want to challenge you to start doing. And that is, number 1, if you're employed, the list that you should be getting from your employer is the income. What did I say? the least that you are getting, you should be getting. I didn't say the best, I said the least. The least that you should be getting from your employer is money. So TJ, if it is the least, then what would be the best? There's a new thing in town that is called skills. There's a new thing in town that is called abilities. There's a new thing in town that's called experience. There's a new thing in town that is called, you can see where I'm going with this. My good friends, in your employment, there are people that I met years ago in my employment, and they gave me good relationships. And those relationships, some of those guys are at senior levels in one or two of their employments. And they have opened up doors for me, relationships. Each and every job that I have taken, some of the jobs that I took was not for money gain. It was to learn a new skill. The more you have different skill set, especially that build businesses, you are going to do amazingly well by the time you leave that employment. So learn the skills, learn the talent, learn everything else that your employer can give you, but also get paid. Getting paid is amazing, but learning the skill can take you very far away. Another opportunities that I saw that Nate was on is he was dedicated. He's been dedicated. He just didn't know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, why am I doing it? And he found me, and he was dedicated. He did tick, he did tick, he did tick, he did tick. Because somebody was backing him up. Somebody was guiding him. Now, my good friends, if you're one of those people that are dedicated to earning alternative income, you can smash it. I apologize for disrupting this hot conversation, but I just wanted to make sure that I remind you of why we exist here at the TJ Tribe. My good friends, it is our mission here at the TJ Tribe to ensure that every modern family earns what we call alternative income using real estate. And if that is you, you've been wondering how you can start or how you can scale, I have a solution for you. The solution is simply visit our website. You'll see it coming through here, and the website is www.thetjtribe.com, and click on where it says book your discovery call. When you do that, actually, my friends, it does not cost you anything at all to book that slot. So no strings attached. Jump onto that website, and either myself or one of my team members will be able to help you on your next steps. So don't be that family, the one that is being left out in creating alternative income. Because from creating alternative income, that's when you can be able to create wealth a little bit later. And above that, that's when you can be able to create what we call legacy. So what are you waiting for? If you're not going to do it for yourself, I suggest that you do it for your family. You do it for the next generation. People that you might not be able to see, your relatives, that you might not be able to see today, but because of what you are building today, they'll be able to say, Grandpa so and so, he built this. So this is what I'm inviting you to say, we can help you. So what are you waiting for? Jump on our website and we will engage with you on the call. Let's go back to our video. The only thing that's missing you from getting to where you want to get, is you. Because you're not willing to take on the leap and say, TJ, where do I sign up? There is somebody who signed up, and we are showing you exactly what they've done. But nonetheless, the other opportunity that I see here is that he has now started looking after people who are around him. Now, I'm going to show you just now, because we haven't spoken about his business yet. he is starting to look after people around him, community, right? But the big thing that I think was a huge opportunity for him is that an American company came and they saw him with his skill set, and they said, hey, we want to come to South Africa, but we don't know the terrain, and we're looking for a representative, but also who can become a partner, but also who can drive the team, but also who can do the products. And he raised his hand and he says, I'm available. Oh, my good friends. Here is some, you see, let me say this. Many people, when it's raining, they want to now start figure out, how do we thatch the house? How do we thatch the roof? That's what many people do, right? Your preparedness to anything is non-existence. Here's where Nate is. I told you, he was dedicated. I told you, he's eager to learn. He was learning getting certified in many of these IT thingies long before this job came in. When this job came in, this new American partnership, at the time, I think he was around about 30, 40 students, okay? And he was now building his alternative income. You can calculate how many 40, if it's, let's just take 40 students, né? It's a rough number, right? 40 students times, let's just call it 4, 5, okay? But then it wasn't 4, 5. Let's call it 4, 2, right? Times 4,200. Then he was banking 100 and, there you go, 168. That's how much money he was making. So potentially he was banking maybe about 50, 60,000 or maybe close to 100 alternative income, right? When this American company came in, he is comfortable at Absa. And this is where I want you to get this, because a lot of you don't get this. When you have alternative income, your negotiation power can turn from monthly income to yearly income on a month. Did you get that? Ah, come on. Look, your values, or should I say your skill set at the moment, determines how much you're getting paid. Did you get that? Your skill set, what you're offering your employer at the moment, determines how much you're getting paid. And you go into these interviews, and then they say to you, we can only give you 20% increment from where you are, from 20,000 to 50,000, whatever the case is. And you're like, oh yes, thank you. Because you are thinking small. Now, if you have 100,000 as alternative income, and you are already earning 100,000, you can go, you got the guts, you got the muscle to go and negotiate 200,000, because you actually don't need them, because you can survive without them. So you are not speaking from, you are not negotiating from a hunger perspective. Guys, I wish I could explain this I hope I'm expressing myself in a way that you can understand. The way you negotiate your next check, what used to be your monthly, what used to be your yearly rate, you can bring it into a monthly rate. It's possible. TJ, is this South Africa? That's just your small mind thinking. If I insulted you, sorry. I apologize upfront. But I'm saying, let's think bigger. Let's think like we deserve abundance. We deserve to have money. We know confidence of our skill set. We can deliver. and we know how much we are worth. Does it make sense? So anyways, this American company approached him. He now has alternative income of 100. The bank is giving him 100. So he goes something like, well, I was just thinking maybe 250. And the employer says, yeah. And bingo, he just doubled his income, right? He negotiated from a point of strength. So he got a little bit more. Wait. The company then said, we'll entice you a little bit. We'll give you shares in the business because you're employer number one and we want to make sure that there's success. So they gave him shares into the business. Obviously, there's performance shares and things like that. But the bottom line is that he is now, what he used to earn before versus what he's earning now is miles apart. Because his thinking is different. Mindset is different. How he sees money is different. Come on. Anyways, I want to land the plane by now talking about where is he today. The boy from Bella, the boy from the township, Kala Township. Is he 40? I don't think he's 40. Is he 40? I think he's just past 40. I think 40, 41, somewhere there. I haven't asked him. At the moment, he has graduated from the TJ tribe. We've been at it for the last 4 years. He reached out to me, TJ, and he says, brother, you have done me great. I want to dedicate on this employment of mine. And it's my business, basically. And I also want to just continue building my portfolio, but I want to do it nice and slow now. And above that, I just want to enjoy my family. And is it okay if I drop off from the tribe? I said, yeah, brother, that's all right. You can drop off anytime. Anytime. We don't hold people here. No cancellation fees? No, sir. Nothing. TJ, will I still become part of the tribe? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We are proud to have worked with you on these 4 years to get to where you are. And we're extremely privileged that we have walked this path together. So why would not be happy? We're not in it for the money. Of course, it pays the bills. But we have helped you to get to where you are. So where is he today? 4 years, he graduated. And he says, TJ, I'm gone. So we say, sharp. That's amazing. But we met him. He had roughly, I think on his mom's property, they had about 10 students or so. We reconfigured things differently. They managed to get around about 20. On his property, he had run about 15. And now, by the time he has left us, they are now on 75 properties. Not properties. 75 beds. This is over a period of 5, let's just call it 4 years. But I'm going to add in another year to say 5 years because obviously his mom's property was also there. We don't know when they got it. Or started really doing student accommodation. But in a 4-year period, he has bought roundabout, he's now at 6 properties. In under 4 years. Busy parent like you, he can do it. He's reached his 101 alternative income goal. At 75 students, he is banking how much? I'm going to calculate it here. A whooping 300 and 300. a whooping 337,500 every other month. That's a whole year's salary for some other people. TJ, are you sure? Yes, I am sure. Because pure arithmetic tells me that they're getting paid 28,000. He's making it in 30 days. TJ. Look, the train is moving. Those that can do it are doing it. Those that are hung on their background of small mind, they're there whilst the train is moving. Those that are saying, TJ, you don't know, you don't understand. Hey, resources, you what? Yeah, stay what? The train is moving, right? At 75 beds, reaching his 101 alternative income. He's not let go of his employment. He works American times in South Africa. His wife at the moment is no longer employed. She now works in the business, their student accommodation business. Huge benefit. For anybody who's been a new mommy, you got a toddler at home, that's a huge benefit. Number 2, huge benefit. His mom works in his business. She's looking after the 20 bed. Now, my good friends, if you got a mom and you got your wife and they're at home doing nothing, woo, you know the amount of cat fights that's going to happen there. But if you got your mom and your wife working in a business, by the time they get home, they are all tired. But you're all making money. Halala. Wait. So he's got 6 properties, right? On one of his properties, his aunt is staying there. What, TJ? Yes. So he's got 3 of his important women staying, operating, managing his business whilst he's employed elsewhere. But wait, there's more. He has caretakers on the properties. He's got cleaners on the properties. He's got maintenance people at the properties. He's got security personnel at the properties. I can speak of many other people that are interconnected to his business, that he is giving value, and he is having the ability to contribute on how they are putting food on the table. So my friends, I want to remind you, especially you who are of faith, and maybe you've gone to church, or maybe you have passed through church, or you believe in God. This guy didn't start off with 75 beds. His mom had run about 10, he started off at 15, and now he's at 75. How come? How is he getting all of this? I want to remind you of a story that's in the Bible. Some of you would know, here at the TJ tribe, we are faith-based, right? And what it basically means is that we look at our learnings from the Bible. So I want to refer you to a story in the Bible where a master, somebody of higher stature, gave money or gave talents to a number of people. I think it was 3 people. And they said, go on, look after these talents, I'll come back. And the story goes something like this. After a long time, the master of those servants came back and settled accounts with them. And the servant who had received 5,000 coins came in and handed over the 5,000 and said to the master, you gave me 5,000 coins, sir. Look, here are another 5,000 that I have earned. So this guy went on to do some work. He was given little, but whilst the master was away, he went and he multiplied that. So this is the one guy, right? And then it goes on to say, the master then says to him, well done, you good faithful servant, right? In managing small amounts, as you will put, as I will also put you in charge of large amounts. Hey. Okay, come on in and share my happiness. Then the servant who had been given 2,000 coins came in and said, you gave me 2,000 coins, sir. Look, here are another 2,000 that I have earned. So they doubled, right? And the master said, well done, you good faithful servant. Said the master, you have been faithful in managing small things, so I will put you in charge of large things. Then the servant who had received 1,000 coins came in and said, hey, master, I know you are a hard man. You reap harvests when you did not plant, and you get crops where you did not scatter seed. I was afraid, right? There's someone, sounds like some of us here. I'm afraid. TJ, I'm afraid to go into this. Will it work for me? I'm afraid. So I went off and I hid your money in the ground. Look, here it is. Here is what belongs to you. The master then responded and says, you bad and lazy servant. And the master said, you knew, didn't you, that I reap harvests where I do not plant, and crops and blah, blah, blah. And he goes on to say, the minimum you should have done is to deposit my money in the bank account. Of course, we do say that you can deposit money in your bank account, but that's not what we are here for. We are here for the work that Nate is doing, to multiply our resources that we are being given. Let's go on to read here. Now it goes on to say in the Bible, now take the money away from him, the one who hid the money under the mattress, and do what? And give it to the one who has 10,000 coins. For to every person who has something, even more will be given, and he will have more than enough. For the person who has nothing, even the little that he has will be taken away from him. So what is this telling us? What is it telling us in relation to what we do? It's very simple. Those that are given talents, like you and me, we've been given talents to work. How about we work and multiply? You can see here, the mandate is very simple. What you have multiplied, God will give you more. I'm giving you an opportunity to say, hey, my good friends, you can come, right? By the way, we are not Christian-based. We're not going to teach you all about Christian. We are faith-based. Yes, I am of Christ. I believe in Christ, but we do not want anyone left off. So don't be like, TJ, I am not. We are of the belief that there's a higher calling. There is something bigger than us. For us is God. And for me, it is God through Jesus Christ, through the Holy Spirit. As a community of the tribe, we are faith-based because we know that without God, we are nothing. So whatever we do, we put God in the midst of it. Right? So if the teaching here are teaching us to say we ought to multiply, we've got a mandate. So sometimes we might not know what to do. I'm giving you the tools. Sometimes we may not have the guidance. I will guide you. So what are you waiting for? My good friends, let's celebrate this guy here called Nate. And as we celebrate him, let us look at ourselves to say, how can I start to multiply? Because we can see what happens here if you don't multiply. Right? We don't want those resources to disappear. We want them to continuously multiply. So until we see each other again, my good friends, it's been great hanging out with you. Let's celebrate each other, and who knows, you might be the next story here at the TJ Tribe in a few years to come. We'll see you at the next video. Boom!